Yo.
Episode 5.
About to get these 16 off real quick.
5.
Yo, check it. Politicians.
I like 5 as a number.
Yo,
Are you
5
like that at all? Like you have a favorite number?
3.
3 is definitely probably up there.
What if I was like
5? 5, 3 7.
What if I was like my favorite number is 6,835?
Then I'm glad I brought it up now. Thank you guys for tuning in. Today we are doing it a single camera shoot if you're watching on YouTube, because I'm off to the Dominican Republic in the morning. So,
and he's been busy all week,
dude,
fending off the masses.
What an insane week to work in sneakers or adjacent to sneakers. I don't want to be up all night editing. We're going to do the single camera thing. If you are listening on your favorite podcast app, thank you very much, you guys. This week we have a brand new episode, a full, normal, wonderful episode. And next week, at least, I'm going to say at least 1 week, maybe 2, we won't have an episode. Next week for sure, I'll be in the Dominican Republic.
Yep.
But we'll see how I feel about getting back and what kind of, how much work I'm behind and whatever else. But I think that's good for those of you that have been following so far, because it's a good week for you to hit people. I know the clips have been, this week's been nuts. I didn't really clip out the last episode. The episode before that, we didn't have video. Now we're on a 1 camera shoot. You're like, yo,
what's going on? Are these guys falling off?
The most important thing is that we consistently bring episodes.
Yes, we have to.
We're doing that. And you guys consistently share the episodes, and you're doing that. So I think that week off might be a good time to be like, yo, they're only 5 episodes in. Catch up. Mm-hmm. It's not a series. We're not telling a story here. There's no narrative. You can jump around. We're sending the episode that you thought was particularly good. I think that'll be cool. But before we get started today, this is not a paid advertisement, but Lapstone and Hammer is doing a really cool charity fundraiser. If you guys aren't familiar, you can find out more information on their social handles, which are Lapstone and Hammer on IG and Lapstone Hammer on Twitter. What they're doing is you could donate any amount and leave a very nice comment on a Fundly page at the end of the week. No, Monday. Which is cool because it's after the official release, but they will choose 3 people to win the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 Cactus Jack.
Yes, and it's not just like they're doing it on their own. Like, it's partnered with United Way, and the money is going towards 2 schools that are in need. And what better way to try to get a pair that you really want? And also, even if you don't, you're doing a good deed. You're helping out. I think it's a win either way.
Yeah, it's actually tremendously transparent. So Fundly has all of the information. If you follow their social media, they're rolling out specifically who they're donating to. It's to local area schools, what they're doing with the money, providing uniforms, hiring a librarian, and I believe...
Like, how do you not have a librarian?
I believe something with... a couple computers to a computer lab. So you not only will know who is collecting the money, you'll see that on your bank statement. It's Fundly going directly to directly into the United Way's hands, and then you'll know to what school and to what cause. So pretty cool, I think. It's definitely worth checking out, especially if you're on the hunt for those Travises, which
we gotta get into, dude. We gotta get into.
Who is not?
Wow.
An insane, man, I really wasn't prepared. I thought, I would say before this one, the Weatherspoon was
that was where your phone was
that's where I was like, this is as annoying as it can get in terms of hey, can you help me? What's going on? Hey, can you explain it? You know what everyone should have to do? Give very simple instructions to a large number of people. Because I think until you've done that, you can't really understand
the level of frustration.
The level of frustration you could really feel. Like, people, I don't think that people are innately dumb, but they'll make you believe it. I don't think that these products are so exciting that they can't stop for a second and read or whatever. But man, you would be wrong.
I think that they do that to open the bridge of conversation. It's like a fake question to then be like, oh, well, maybe you could you know what I mean? They don't want to come straight out. They don't want to come straight out the gate and be like, yo, can you look out? So they say something like, yo, are you guys getting them? when they know for a fact that you're already getting them.
Yeah, I think it's some of that. But there's also like if you like that Lapstone charity we were just talking about, the directions are seriously like donate.
Oh,
and
it's
as
so
you
easy.
donate,
Yeah, it's so easy.
As
I
you
get it.
donate, write something nice and your shoe size.
Yeah.
Dude, when I tell you hundreds of people have forgotten to write their shoe size.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
And then so they're talking to the social media handle, right? They're like adding Lapzone and they're like, I forgot to add my size. I forgot add my size. And they're like, hey, everybody, take your time. Remember to add your size. Go ahead and, donate again if you want to correct that or whatever. But and then somebody was like, you're forcing people to donate again if they forget. And they were like, we're forcing people to follow our directions. Yeah,
It's
because
super
of
easy, guys.
course.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's pretty standard. That's pretty par for the course for like a really hyped release. Like I was saying, the Weatherspoon, I was like, oh man, everyone I've ever known is going to ask me for these things. And everyone I've ever known is bugging. And everyone I know is going to make small talk with some dumb conversation. And
imagine being Sean for that.
dude, I thought, I can't imagine. And then I really thought like, that's as big as it gets, right? Planning that release, what we had to do to try to facilitate, try to contain the excitement, the number of people that are outside, facilitate the orders, make sure people leave. Yeah, we did.
Those
the cookies were a huge hit, dude. I thought that was like, I've been through it, right?
Yeah.
This Travis Scott one, for whatever it's worth, is like at least 30 to 40% more. And period. More everything. More hype, more questions, more.
I see people talking shit about the sneaker, like because of the swoosh. I mean, it's different. Like we're creatures of habit, right? So when you see something that's different, at first you resist.
Yeah.
And then after time, like a new album, when an artist goes a different way,
right.
At first you're like, nah, I'm not really fucking with this. And then you go back and you're like, oh, that was good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With these, I feel a lot of people look at that big swoosh, the brolic swoosh on the medial side. And they look at that and they're like, oh man, like, I don't know if I can do that. Like, look how much empty space there is above it. And whereas with the Sean, the Weatherspoon, I felt like everybody was in. With these, do you think it's more like people want to come up, or do you think people want to wear them?
I think it's a combination of things. Like I saw Cousteau, shout out to Jacques. He asked about the Cactus Plant Flea Market Vapor Max. He was like, yo, do you think that people are this excited because it's Cactus Plant Flea Market? And I was like, no
I don't even know what that is now.
And that's what I'm getting at. I'm like, so there's elements, right? In the case of that shoe, let's start there because that's a good example of like some of it, right?
Yeah.
It's bold. It looks strange. It doesn't look like
different.
a lot of other Vapor Max that you're being told to like it. You're seeing it quite a bit on your timelines, blogging. There's a friends and family one that glows dark that catches your attention. Now there's a little bit of confusion. Is mine going to glow? Is light up? Whatever. Is it not? There's side conversation. Side conversation causes engagement, causes the algorithms and these social media things that make sure you don't miss those highly engaged posts. You see that there's like a whole system by which you're starting to get hyped crazy about that shoe, right?
Like I'm hyped and I don't even want it.
And to answer Jacques' question, if you went to, let's say, like a sneaker con in New York City, like whatever the biggest sneaker con is, I don't know.
Probably New York.
And you're talking to these same kids that are on the timeline talking about the Cactus Plant Flea Market Vapor Max.
Yeah.
And you ask them the most rudimentary question about that brand, they'd be lost completely. Like I think if you did a man on the street style interview, what do you like about the Cactus Plant Flea Market Vapor Max? You'd lose a lot of people just at the title, right?
Yeah.
Because they know the look of the shoe. Yeah. They'll set their bots, whatever, but like there's probably not a lot of that audience walking around really knowing the full name of that brand or whatever.
Emily Oberg did that for the old Supreme lines.
Where
she would go and be like, they would have a Morrissey tee, and she'd be like, yo, who's Morrissey? Because they'd be like, yo, I'm in line, I'm out here for that Morrissey tee. And she'd be like, oh, so you're going to wear a t-shirt with like a big picture of Morrissey. She'd be like, do you know who Morrissey is? And they'd be like, nah, but like, but it's preem. You know what I mean?
So there's that level, right? Where I think like the Cactus Plant Flea Market one is the best example right now, right?
Yeah.
But Travis has that. it's bold. It looks strange. It's a take on a Jordan 1, which is something Jordan Brand doesn't allow a lot.
Yeah, it's
so
crazy.
It's kind of like takes you.
The stash spot, like that little, the Velcro, like that.
There is that insinuation.
Yeah, like the fact that they let that rock is so, to me, it's like, it's mind blowing that there's a stash spot that the swoosh is so big and it's flipped. And I think that they did a great job on the shoe. I've liked it from the very first picks. I'm not the hugest Jordan 1 fan, which is crazy. I know I'm going to get like flamed for this. Like,
it's all good.
But I'm a big dude. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like I'm out here. Ones kind of make me look like I don't know what, man. But I'm going to rock these. And hopefully I can pull them off. You know what I mean? I
got to say, but the thing is though or I guess the point that I was getting at is that it's got all those things going for it. And then to a lot of people, he's just Kylie's boyfriend.
Ooh,
to a lot of people,
the Kardashian
to
element.
a lot of people, he's a really good rapper. I would say that a lot of people would say that. More people would say producer, I think. Musician, sonic, performer. He's a phenomenal performer.
Influencer talk. Do you think if a Kardashian dropped a shoe, it would rock out like that?
To their audience.
You think so?
What's funny about it is a lot of people don't understand the scale economics involved, right? So let's take, for example, and I'm not going to tell you what I know. I'll tell you what I've seen, right? So what I've seen on Twitter, true or not, 130,000 pairs of Travis Scott.
From 108 to 130.
Right? I've seen that on my Twitter. Right or wrong. That's not nearly enough. No. That's like somebody walking in here and putting a single lemon scone from Starbucks between us.
Yeah, the room would be absolutely destroyed.
There's no chance.
Wolverine versus the Incredible Hulk.
So, when you're talking about the Kardashians,
lemon scone.
A Kardashian given 130 pairs on the high end of my Twitter's estimate is nothing. That's also a blink, and like there's more girls between ages 5 and 7 that follow them than there are pairs in that equation.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
So do you think the number dictates, obviously number dictates hype, right? Mm-hmm. Especially for a new shoe.
To a degree.
Like when the Ultra Boost originally dropped, remember when Kanye wore the white pair?
Right.
They weren't able to mass produce the Boost at that point. Mm-hmm. Therefore, the hype for that model blew up.
Right.
Now, they got Boost coming out their ears.
Yeah.
They got mad Boost. Boost is abundance. And now people are kind of like, Boost is dead, meh. I saw this young YouTuber, I won't mention his name because he is a kid and he doesn't really know any better. But he was at a show. He was at SneakerCon in Denver. And he was like making fun of Yeezys. He like these kids were buying Yeezys and he was like looking down at them like oh my God, like that's so last week. Like,
oh Jesus.
He was like, Yeezys are dead. And I was like thinking to myself, as he's wearing a pair of like Revenge Storms with painted on $800 track pants and a Dale Earnhardt t-shirt that's from 1987 that he has no idea what he's wearing. He doesn't even know who he is. He thinks that looks cool because it's supposed to look cool. Like
it's a weird thing, man. And it's funny you mentioned Revenge Storm because like that's just something I don't get. Like
what?
How is that not the same or in the same vein as any other boot? Like that's a bootleg van, right? Which is cool. Some bootleg, I think we've said this before on the show, some bootleg is so
that old
crazy.
Gucci, dude, that old Gucci
it's hilarious.
Shit is fire.
Dude, and Gucci knew it was dope. Gucci made their own vibes that had like Gucci spelt with a Y and stuff like that.
That's fire.
They were just mocking them back.
That's fire.
So I guess, I don't know, but I hate Ian Connor. Like
not a fan of that dude.
You know, nothing I've ever heard about him has been particularly positive. And then that is a pretty blatant Vans ripoff. So like, I don't understand. I'm not saying that like I'm whatever. If you like them, I don't like you, or that we're going to argue about it or whatever. I don't care. But it's strange. It's a strange thing to have caught hype like that, where that you could be in Revenge Storms making fun of somebody in Yeezys.
That's what it just strikes me odd. It strikes me as so crazy because in the same video, the title of the video was "My Millionaire Friend Spends like $50,000 at
Jesus
SneakerCon,"
Christ.
and he's doing these videos where he brings these, like, there's this one, he's got this guy named Prince Fred is what he calls him. The guy,
Please don't name whoever's doing this.
The guy's like,
I don't want to be in the habit of doing that.
No, but the guy, he's this little short dude who's apparently a millionaire. And do you remember that pastel jacket Kanye was going to do a clothing line called
It
Pastel?
was a clothing line.
Right.
I don't think it got like publicly.
There's this one jacket that's been floating around LA from shop to shop, and it's at this one
the
store
black
now.
like varsity John.
It's like a blue one and it has yellow like Martin letter, like Martin. It says pastel real big on the back.
Yeah, I saw that in person at a spot on Melrose. I think one time when I was in LA.
Well, they're asking like 10 grand for it or whatever.
It's a heirloom piece if you were to buy it.
But he's doing these videos where these guys are buying. There's like the titles. He's basically taking a La Puma idea, a Joe La Puma sneaker shopping, and he's putting it on a really high level with money. But they're not real because apparently all these items that this guy bought are still in the shop. So what I'm saying is is like with YouTube now, is it turning into like,
dude, are we really here talking right now?
Is this fake TV? Like,
is this all?
Has it turned into like, are we making television shows? Or is this really even our passion?
I said to somebody in conversation, just like passing, and then it also ended up being like a major aha moment for me, was like, it's so easy to get to I'm 35 years old, which is like neither young nor old. It's a really weird place to be in.
Yeah, you're right in the middle.
I remember my father being 35, but not thinking my father's old. You know what I mean? It's just a very strange age. And when you get here, it's easy to be like, this is where you make that decision whether you're going to be the type of person that's like, everything was better in my day, right?
Or you're going to live with the future.
Or you're going to not.
Yeah.
I don't know what the alternative is, right? So I found myself like, man, social media is going to ruin people the way that maybe my parents were like 1 hour of TV a day or it's going to rot your brain.
Video games,
you know what I mean? And their
games.
parents were like, don't listen to the radio, you know? And I was like, man, I don't want to be like that. And then one of the things that I constantly remind myself, because I love sneakers and menswear and style or whatever so much, is I'm constantly reminding myself, like, just because I love it doesn't mean it's particularly important or serious. Like that I have to have like serious, finite, concrete opinions about it, you know? So one of the things that I was feeling turning 35 was just like, they've ruined it. They've ruined it. They're going to ruin it. The community aspect's gone. The history of it is they don't know why they're calling it the bread for whatever. Like, you know what I mean? And then I was just like, wow, nothing could matter less.
No.
Like literally. And the reason, and as I said that out loud, I was like, man, what a tension out of my shoulders. I was just like, wow.
It's nice.
It doesn't matter because it doesn't change how badly I wanted another pair of those fours.
Yeah.
How great it was for me to put them back on. Yeah. Shout out to Finish Line for unintentionally doubling me up. You're the shit.
I think Finish Line meant to send an 11 and a half.
Maybe.
But they accidentally sent another rack pair.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
So like I could, no shots to me or anyone else because I've done it and other people do it. Like I could have taken to the timeline and thrown up all over these kids about how mad I was on my porch. But it didn't change anything. I made fun of Jordan Brand a little bit for the stupid bread commercial, but even that didn't change anything.
The bread thing is, I'm sorry, I know I'm an old man, but seeing all these...
It's easy and fun to make fun of.
Yeah, I'm not like losing sleep over it at the end of the day.
It's whatever.
But when people are like, man, I'm out here baking this bread all day, bruh. I'm like, oh, word.
It's that one line, and I said it last episode, but there were like, when bread is baked at 450 degrees, it bakes in 23 minutes or whatever. Like they did the math to make it land on 23. Anyway, all that to say that stuff really doesn't matter. But but this sneaker, it's a weird one. It lines everything up. Back to the Travis Scott. Lines everything up. It's hype. It's limited. You're seeing your favorite stores talking about it, carrying
Kardashian
it, trying to do their different
Yep.
things. Kardashian influence. Travis Scott's huge fan. I mean, Travis Scott sold out Ben Trill back in the day.
Yeah.
Like one of his first collabs.
Sicko mode, you know what I mean?
You know, it's a moment for sure. And I was completely... completely unprepared for what this week was going to do, how it was going to stress me with work,
Yeah.
how it was going to stress some of my work relationships momentarily. I mean, luckily I work with like literally my best friends in the world. So we're okay, but we did have to yell at each other to get through it a couple times.
Me and Rack actually fist fought 6 times this week.
Yep. He's an undefeated, unstoppable street fighter.
Yo. For career on my wiki, it just says he was known around the Northeast Philadelphia region as an unstoppable street fighter. Yo, I found my doppelganger.
It's
guys,
unbelievable. You gotta check out his Instagram to see this guy.
Yeah, the guy's his nickname was Buddy, right? If your nickname is Buddy, that DL means you are a bad dude. Buddy McLean, he was a member of the Walter Hill gang or something like that. Yo, he looks just like me, dude. not I look like him. He looks like me, even though Bull's been dead for a long time. And yo, shout out to him. Like, dude was a monster. I ordered his book from Amazon just because he's so handsome.
Do me a favor, dude. Keep the distance from the mic a little bit more consistent. The only reason because somebody made a comment and it made me crack up. They're like, you're always crystal clear and maybe even sound too loud. So guys, I'm trying to work on that, the tonality of my voice. And then they were like, COYLE sounds like he's running back and forth across the microphone. And I guess you're like panning in people's ears and stuff, going back and forth. And
guys, I'm going to take care of that.
We're going to get that right.
All right.
But let's turn this into an actual subject. And it was one that you had suggested. Etiquette.
I was just going to say that.
Let's do it. Because
what is the etiquette?
Let me tell you something. I think I'm going to start with a little bit of an analogy, right?
Okay, take us there.
It's been about 4 years now since I first met Dwayne Wade, legendary Hall of Fame, amazing basketball
Was that
player.
just a little bit of a little?
No, but there's a point.
Swag droplet.
Maybe, but if so, I'm doubling up. I've done it already, right? But really, it's more to get to this point.
Okay.
I got his number.
All right.
Been to his house, whatever, you know?
Wow.
I have never once in that whole time, never even kind of considered ever asking him for anything. And just so that you guys know, because I know that like what I do day to day isn't public knowledge and I don't want it to be, but I've been asked by major outlets for real opportunities to please ask him for any number of things, right?
Can you put this in front of them?
Can you just mention it, drop it? Hey, we'll take care of you. We'll do this or da-da-da. It'd be nice to work together.
Now, do you leverage your friendship with
Never, ever once have I texted him anything but great game, champ. Awesome team win. It was really good to see. Congratulations on a wonderful career.
Yeah.
I've never asked him like, yo, now I need this rookie card signed, bro. Like never, nothing, right? And I wanted to say all that, not to flex. I intentionally pick somebody I know that people know I have a connection to.
Right.
That way I'm not flexing any more than I already have, right? But the reason I actually say it is because you can imagine, and at home you're nodding along like, of course he didn't ask him for anything.
But people,
of course you wouldn't ask him for anything. And the reason there, where the element there, the assumption is respect. I respect the shit out of him. Of course I wouldn't ask him or put him out of his way, right? And that's the key to etiquette. And where this week has been so stressful for me is the amount of incoming messages from numbers I don't even have in my phone, from yo, so-and-so gave me your contact, from DMs to it's been completely disrespectful. Like it seems as if literally no one in my life, aside from my mother, father, girlfriend, and you, stopped for a second and was like, he might be doing something else with his day. Like he might even be working this release for the greater public like he should be. Like everybody wanted to ruin my day. Wanted to ask, wanted to have a stupid side conversation first where I knew where it was going. Man, like, I haven't talked to you.
Awkward, man.
Dude, literally haven't talked to you since high school, some people, right?
Wow.
Literally. And they go on to, so occasionally I'll use Facebook to keep my mother informed, basically.
Yeah,
I said something about like going to a Coheed concert in next month or whatever in Philly. And like somebody from high school is like, bro, remember when you first started listening to Coheed? Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, oh God, this is going to be about the Travis.
You know where this is going.
Like I literally, like, so even like picking my Facebook for small subjects to start conversations. Anyway, so my first topic of etiquette is, or my first rule of etiquette in terms of asking for favors in the sneaker community is don't even ask for anyone you've never done anything for. This type of thing is not a favor. Like, you don't start with the hardest thing somebody can do for you.
Yeah. You don't go from
with
zero,
nothing in the bank.
Right. You don't go from zero to like, can you christen my kid?
Right.
You know what I mean? You're going right to the gusto from the gate.
With nothing, with no leverage.
Right.
Not a real friendship.
Right.
Not a, and here's another thing that I realized, and I've never cared, and I don't care now even saying it, but I realized it. No one has ever, not even one time, not even one person texted me or tweeted me or whatever and was like, yo, Rack, just checking, are you good on this release? Do you need anything?
Really?
No one has ever one time done that. No one ever. I mean, part of my compensation for work.
Yeah, now.
Part of my compensation for work.
Right now,
I would make a lot more money, lucrative cash
if you didn't.
If I didn't have access to inventory, if I didn't work from home, if I couldn't make my own hours, I've.
You sacrifice certain things.
Well, I'm compensated uniquely.
Okay.
Right. But aside from that, like, hey, are you good or did you want these or whatever? Aside from that, no one in my personal life, like in my friend group or larger social media, quote unquote, friends or followers has ever been like, yo, you good? Ever.
I feel like
even when I'm like, yo, the union ones, I need them. All of you. I'm the greatest person to have to owe you a favor.
If there's one person.
Dude, I literally have said that. Right now, if you're listening to this, go to Twitter. I'm at @RaxLife_ and search for that phrase. I'm a great guy to owe you a favor.
Yes,
I've said that to all of you.
Yep.
And now, after being ignored, not that it's one for one or tit for tat. Truth be told, here's the reality about the Travis Scott and why it was so frustrating. I'm not helping anybody. I can't. It's irresponsible. I have a community that I have to feed. Like, to me, it's like I have to get these in the hands of my city, and I have to do that in the most efficient and best way that I can. They're literally all going to customers. So there's like, so I don't want you to think that, like, if you had gotten me, I would have gotten you on this. I just want to make it the point known that despite the disrespect of just assuming I was doing nothing on my Sunday but wanting to read your text messages and begging,
assuming that he would,
just assuming that I would, despite having, I don't know, just never been checked. I don't know. Do you see what I'm saying about the etiquette? So the two rules of etiquette that I have so far is assume that respect. That's all.
All right, well, here's the thing with sneakers and life in general, you build relationships as you go.
Right.
Years ago, I didn't know the same people that I do now. Mm-hmm. And the cool thing about life is that you can tell who is your genuine friend and who is somebody trying to get something from you. It's
so obvious.
It's so transparent.
Right.
And when you send somebody a text and you're asking a favor, I hate it because it's almost like it's like a little elephant in the room that you just sent out there.
Yeah.
And you're waiting for that reply, and you don't know how but look at it from the other person's perspective. And that's what I always try to do. And I hate asking for favors and things like that. But the cool thing about being a good person is that a lot of times you don't have to. And a lot of times, like, it works in your favor. Like, I try to do nice things for people. Like, if you ever follow my Instagram, whenever I have a shoe that I'm not wearing or I get a double up, I sell for retail plus shipping or what I paid plus shipping, unless it's something that's outrageous to where it would be stupid for me to do it. And I'm not going to sell them to, like, a reseller or something like that. But if I know you personally, like, you got that. You know what I mean? And I look at karma like it's real. And I think that that's important when you're looking for favors and stuff like that. If you're a good dude, I feel like you got a better shot than if I look on your page and you're selling stuff for crazy markup. Why would I give you a hookup?
Dude, so there's that, right? But let's be realistic here. I've got Anchor open. I'm looking at our average daily plays are 1,816 individual people, right?
Yes.
So of those 1,816 people, do good and good karma. That's not the lesson. That ain't gonna sink in, bro. Unfortunately, you're right, 100%. Let's give them.
I like being a good dude,
and you should.
Yeah.
And that ultimately, guys, is the answer to life.
Yep.
But let's give them some tangible. Let's give, those that aren't hearing it, tangible advice, right? So, like I would say, don't ask, man. Think or hesitate and think like, have I ever offered anything? Have I even cared about anything before this? Like, and if the answer is 0, if you're being honest with yourself, you're like, no, I've never reached out to see how his day was going, how work was been,
right.
If I could help him with something. I've never done that. Then just don't. Like, I think you think of this instead of like a list of things that you could do. Think of them as steps. If you don't get past step 1, move on. Right.
Yeah.
I think the next thing to do would be like, realize and or acknowledge. I had made a tweet about this. Like, one of the things that I really don't like the most is if I send a text out, and I know I follow my own rules. I never ask anybody even a question unless I've answered a question for them in the past, right? Or clarified something or helped them in some way, right? But so if I send out a text message with a question or a favor, I understand that you can't that you don't always have access to the answer, that you can't make the time, But what I always hated was when people would just like blatantly ignore it, because what they can do instead is just wait it out. And then when the information is no longer relevant, you get the like, oh, I was really busy, bro. Sorry, I'm just getting back to you. I guess it's too late to help now. I've always disliked that, right? So my second rule of etiquette would be like, give me the out. Right? You can ask me if you feel like you've earned the ability to ask. Start with the out. Hey, bro, I know this is the most hyped sneaker of the entire fucking year.
Right.
You've probably got way less than you need to serve the 3rd largest population in the country in Philadelphia, where there are only 2 boutiques 1 block from one another. But in the event that one falls off the truck where I could do anything to help you, because what you do there is you alleviate my stress. Like I said earlier, there was no one I could help. There was no one I wanted to help. There was nothing I could do. But I get to say, yeah, bro, like you nailed it. It's the worst, right? And I really genuinely appreciate it. And I would like, talking about likelihood or percentages, I'm giving you gold here. If I already owed you a favor and you offered me an out, you have the best shot so far.
You do.
Of anybody in the entire world, I
would agree.
Because you're not making me feel guilty, because you're not making me wonder how am I going to respond, or should I wait it out to after the release and let them know that I was in the Dominican and send a picture over from the beach. Like, these are things that you start to think when people that you genuinely care about are putting you in a tough spot. So open with the out. I would say that's my second rule.
Agreed.
Hey, if not, dude, I get it. But then do the last tip I would say for etiquette is do your due diligence. Like, I can't tell you the number of people that were like, there's no way I'm going to get these. If you can't help me, I'm screwed. And they're singing a swan song instead.
Somebody's got to win.
Just this way and that way. And I would always say, like, man, listen, can't help anyone, way out of my hands. We gotta feed Philly. It's something that we're very, 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 it's like I don't know. It's one of the pillars of our business. Well, because we're gonna do it. We're always gonna do that. Like,
you don't want to end up like a shop that people talk about like
don't name any other shops.
Right, I'm not gonna. But like, let's just say there was another one, right? And they were basically known for backdooring 75 to 80% of their stash of any particular shoe. You don't want to get that rep. You don't want to be
I'll explain that too real quick in case anyone at home doesn't know, or you're one of those jaded people that are like, they all go to bots or they all get backdoored or every store does it. That is simply and completely and totally not the truth. Because we are one store where the bots don't always get them. And when you guys think it's the bots, we're looking at the back end and it's not the bots. It's genuine people with a little bit faster of an internet connection than you. And we know
They have the chrome autofill.
and we know just how limited that sneaker was. Sometimes that's just the case. So when you get all mad at home, you're wrong, unfortunately. Sometimes. Not all the time, sometimes. Been botted. It's unavoidable.
Yeah, you
we
can't
do what
avoid
we
it.
can. We cancel them. We've switched to email order, which is a manual process. We've done a couple different things, right? I hope people appreciate. As far as the backdoor thing, we've always, like, I'll tell you what is the case. You are always, even as an employee at a store, offered the opportunity to backdoor. Like, you can't, like, unless I just hid from the world completely, somebody would be in my DMs like, I'll give you this much or whatever, right?
Sure,
No
absolutely.
problem. But what we've always realized, and it's 100% the truth, it is the truth. We are not, these releases that people think are getting backdoored, like the Travis or early Yeezy or whatever, they were always infinitely more valuable in store, period. Like, if you said, whatever, say you were going to give me $15,000 for a pair of Travis, right? Like, that sounds immense.
A little high, but
It's immense. Like, I'm exaggerating it on
I know,
purpose. It
I'm
sounds
kidding.
like an immense, like, no-brainer where the kids at home that think that this stuff happens at every store every time.
yeah.
That's the kind of shit they must imagine or whatever, right? I would be like, I could cost Brian, who's the owner, his Nike account that he's had for 35 years.
I've seen it happen. It happened to a store. It happened to a store in Frankfurt
What are you
Avenue.
talking? Like, let's just start there. That's
How much is that worth?
Dude, my life, my income, it's literally worth my income.
That's priceless, dog.
Right now. I've had other income, obviously, but it's definitely worth my job.
Wow.
It's definitely worth the job of a couple people I care about, a friendship, a best friendship. So you're wrong. Like, it just doesn't always happen that way, you know?
That's a good way, because I never thought about that, honestly, and that's a pretty big one, because
And give it to one. Here's another one. Give it to one dickhead in Atlanta, let's say, who offered you $1,000 over, right?
yeah,
Or give it to someone like you who frequented our shop all the time.
Yep.
Right? Who bought regular Air Max Essentials with us, who cops our collection, who's in there, who knows the store employees because they're such regulars. And we don't even hook those people up. Like, I don't want to create that impression. It's not like we're thinking like, oh, gotta write his name on and post it. But we, by not backdooring or giving them an opportunity, right? If you follow Lapstone and Hammer, you could enter online and in store. You have twice the chances if you are in fact a local to our shop, right?
it's a lot easier.
You know what I mean? So even the idea that it's like, I'm offering 400 over box. That's nothing. That's nothing. It could literally get in the hands and make the day and create a permanent customer that spends that $400 you're offering over box, like, the very next time they're in store.
Because the feeling of winning a legitimate raffle puts faith in that shop.
100%. Anyway, I don't want to even make it sound like it's even being considered. It's never considered. We never, ever, ever consider backdooring or gifting or holding people down or whatever.
Maybe
We
this will
just
make your life easier next time.
I hope so, you know?
That's why I wanted to give you the opportunity to kind of voice
I mean,
it.
I said it publicly. I hope that people know that I meant it, you know? And there's a difference here, right? There's the black and red Jordan 4, right? You know what I mean? Where, like, if you are a loyal customer, if you've done me a favor, if I've got plenty of pairs, if we're going first come, first serve anyway,
That's different.
then yeah, maybe, you know?
If it's not the one, though.
You know what I
like
mean?
the big one.
That's why I said give me the out is such a key part of the etiquette. Like, yeah, man. First of all, be the kind of person who someone would want to help. That's step one, right? So that's everything that we've said. Like,
just nailed it.
you're a genuine friend. You've done favors. You've looked out. You've unsolicited asked me if I was cool on something. Make sure I was good a couple times, and you feel comfortable asking. Then start with the out, man. Like, hey, listen, I know this is the one this year. I get it. I'm just, hey, maybe you've got pairs for marketing. Like, because sometimes like this, in this case, for example, we didn't get to shoot any of our own assets for this shoot. Jordan Brand was like, you can use these 3 photos, period, right?
Oh, the 3 you guys used?
Yeah. But normally we can shoot our own. So there's a dead pair, quote unquote, right? Like it gets unlaced, it gets stuffed, it gets shot, it gets turned.
And it's not dead stock.
And so that pair normally is not going back into rotation.
Yeah.
So who knows? So that's what I'm saying. Like, so if you were my friend and you wore that size and you had
if the planets
checked
aligned,
out, who would have known?
Right.
In this case, this shoe that pair doesn't exist. But anyway.
All right, I got a little side thing we can do here.
Yeah.
For the people that aren't from Philadelphia, might be visiting Philadelphia. What would be a good place to get a cheesesteak?
Ishkabibbles.
You think Ishkabibbles is number one?
I think so. What do you think? I hear a lot of people say a lot of different things, so this is a good one.
So these are the ones that the people are going to tell you to go to, and they are across the street from each other, and they are Gino's and Pat's.
Not really.
Now, this is the tourist. This is where all the limo drivers take people. This is where, like stereotypically, the music videos are shot out front of. This is like the
if you're maybe more familiar with New York City, it's like Ray's Pizza.
Right.
It's like
right.
Yeah, it was a New York slice. Right. Yeah, it's a cheesesteak.
Yes, it is technically.
Right.
But the thing is if you want a genuinely worth the money, delicious product, there are other places. I really like Steve's Prince of Steaks.
Nice. Good call. Very good call.
I grew up on St. Vincent Street in Mayfair. That's where I grew up eating that, which is a sliced steak instead of a chop. There's 2 different versions. We're schooling people right now.
Right.
When you walk up to the window, you say whiz with onions or without onions or like American, right?
Yeah.
So what
you're specifying first is your cheese and then with or without onion.
What Steve's does that's so banging is they have a liquefied American cheese.
Ooh, that's a move. I don't think I even knew that.
Dude.
I'm a provolone guy. Like just because I think that's an important thing or a misconception, right? Like
that you need American cheese on the cheese
or that you need to whiz.
Oh, I don't whiz.
You don't need to whiz.
I don't whiz.
It's not. I am an adopted Philadelphian, so I always choose my words carefully. But I don't even think that's necessarily like the Philadelphian way. Like people think when they are from outside of the city. They think
sounds
like,
good.
Yeah, whiz.
It sounds good.
It's still not like I still don't think like most people are eating it that way.
Yeah, but if you've never had this particular American cheese on a cheesesteak, they ladle it on the steak, right? It is amazing, dude, with some sweet peppers, a little bit of ketchup. It's bomb, dude. It's really good. And also, one of the big guys that's actually really good is Jim's. Jim's makes a solid steak.
I was going to go there.
There used to be a place called Chinks, and they actually made them change the name because it wasn't friendly.
I'm going to just interrupt real quickly to say that you may have heard in the audio the camera turn off. This is a day we're not going to fight that fight. So at this point now, you've probably realized audio only. I'm going on vacation, bitches.
It's all good, guys.
No, but we don't have secondary camera set up because we weren't going to do a lot of editing today. Audio only this week.
We just wanted to get a video out. It's been a stressful week.
Dude, it's been one of those, Thank you guys. Most people, like I just said, 1,816 people on average a day per episode are listening via audio only. So,
and I appreciate that, man.
We appreciate those of you on YouTube too. And listen, I'm not done with the cheesecake talk because I want to not cheesesteak talk.
And that too.
I want to add a little bit more to that, but we will talk a little bit more about what we plan to do on the YouTube though. So we're not gonna. I just don't want like the most important thing to me about doing this podcast is in the past, anytime I've ever done anything, I've been crippled by wanting it to always be perfect, like wanting it to be shot in 4K or have the product early or write the right script or deliver it in a way that other people weren't. And with this podcast, the most important thing is that and literally, and I mean this, I spend time with Mike, like I like taking a second for myself for an hour a week to do something that I enjoy doing.
Hell yeah.
And then that I get it out consistently for you guys. So it's audio only is not like, I don't want people to think of that as like less than. We got it out every week. We're going to do our best to do that.
I agree.
Back to the cheesesteak thing. So I'm a provolone, no onions.
I go no onions too.
But I'd add mushrooms.
Oh man, you're going all out.
So it's kind of it's a unique. Give it a shot,
dig it, man. The mushroom's banging.
And I like ishkabibbles because ishkabibbles, and
they hook it up.
I'm a little concerned. I don't want this to come off the wrong way or turn anyone off, but it's like the right kind of dirty in there. It's like
you could tell that. All right, here's another thing like people don't realize when
it's the greasy spoon,
the griddle that they use to cook the steak. Like I'm I'm a foodie because like I think of everything.
Right, if that shit can't be hospital sterile,
if a place isn't making steaks all day. That grill does not have the flavor like it does if you're cooking 100%. Steak all day.
Or the correct temperature necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like no shots. It is not dirty or not up to health standards or whatever, but it's of the people. It is churning out cheesesteaks.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And Philadelphians are really in there, and so it's got the right vibe. Pat's and Geno's, though, if you're in Philly, I always
it's not a bad sandwich.
I tell people like,
not worth the money.
Right. I always tell people like, have you ever been to Philly? And if the answer is no, I'm like, okay, here's what we'll do. We'll get one from each, and like you could take half from each, and then you could sit down and make the decision whether you're Pat's or Geno's, and it's a moment, right?
Well, one is chopped and the other one is sliced.
If it's your second time in Philly,
get out.
I'm not taking you to Pat's and Geno's. We're not doing the Liberty Bell. Fuck you for that. Right. You know? Okay, so that's cheesesteaks in a nutshell. I said ishkabibbles, you said?
Steve's Prince.
And if you're just like in whatever, the mall in King of Prussia, I think Tony Luke's is pretty good for a chain.
Tony Luke's, I forgot about them.
For a chain? Like
their roast pork with provolone and broccoli rabe is insanity.
For those of you who are not from the area, that's a little bit like saying go to McDonald's for a Big Mac if you're looking for a good burger. Yeah. But Tony Luke's is of
fire,
of a certain quality. I think anyway. So we've touched on like the etiquette in terms of everyone's vibes. Again, you know, so I think one of the very last chances you'll have at securing the Travis Scott one Cactus Jack is this Laps on Hammer charity. I'm literally not just bringing it up because of my association. It will continue after the release. So on that day, if you happen not to hit, throw a few bucks at a good cause, and you still have a chance.
And somebody's got to win them. They're put aside. They're sitting there, ready to go.
They are literally ready to go. Literally ready to go. Let's see. We've got no new members of the Hall of Heroes this month. Or this week. That's going to happen. You know, and because of that, maybe let's not do the whole song and dance.
All right.
Our Hall of Heroes people, obviously, we appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
I want to call on them. You know, we don't have to go by name, but you know who they are by now if you've been listening. And certainly you know who you are. With this week off, it would be awesome to call on the Hall of Heroes and anyone who wants to feed the cast to really share this podcast. Like if you're effing with it, I noticed our Instagram is growing pretty considerably fast.
I'll tell you what, if you guys come through and you know, help us out a little bit, man. Tell a couple people, get a couple subscribers. I'll do a little Instagram video next Friday. I'll put something up on the Playground Politics thing. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll do like an old school shoe review with my new dog. She's not new. You just guys don't know her like you did my old dog.
Right.
So maybe I'll do like an old school joint. So we'll have some Playground Politics stuff going up. You know what I mean?
Perfect
we'll see what happens.
Transition.
You know
because we've said from the very beginning that we don't really care where you're consuming the show, right? And so I know there's no video now, but
Playground Politics is racking myself doing something different.
100%. And it's taking place all over the place. So largely in the United States, I see, followed by Canada, Australia, the United Kingdom, France, the Philippines. Shout out to the Philippines. They've always caught on to whatever content I've produced over the years.
Yo, the Philippines has some diehard sneaker.
They're really into it. And Germany, right? It's now 70% supported on Apple Podcasts.
Germany, I'm part German. What's up?
18% would be the second largest on Spotify. I would think sneaking in just under that 18% would be our YouTube following, right?
Okay.
And so we've always said publicly, we don't care where you consume it, and that remains true. We've always said privately, not that we're not thinking about playground politics as a, quote unquote brand as strictly this podcast, where we want to create and be consistent with a product that you guys come to expect and enjoy, but we want to do other things. For example, those of you who contribute to our Hall of Heroes, that money remains untouched in an account.
It's still, I'm looking at it right now,
where we will allow it to continue to grow and we will reinvest it.
Yep.
I think one of the first things that we're going to invest in is some kind of very quick hyperstrike product.
Yeah, something dope though.
Something really dope, if you like my design aesthetic, if you like COYLE's taste level, graffiti, whatever, like that's where we're going with this, to experiment and do other things. But we've got this YouTube channel, right? And it is not even in the top 3 biggest distribution platforms that we have, right? Like we're crushing on Apple, we're crushing on Spotify, and then we're limping along on YouTube, right?
I think that's like a podcast norm, but we could build it up.
Hey, I want to use it for more than
that's
the
what
podcast.
I'm saying. Yeah.
That's my suggestion here.
Hell
so
yeah.
if you're listening to this and you are only on Apple, dope. Now for the first time, I'm asking you over the course of this week that we're off, head to the YouTube and hit the subscribe button, because
the more people we have eyes on it, the more we'll do.
Yeah, now that I'm starting to see how this is panning out, I want to use that outlet differently. And what I mean by that is maybe I will vlog again. Maybe I'll Rack's life from the Dominican Republic, right?
Or maybe we'll go to a diner, me and Rack, and we'll just shoot the shit. From there.
Maybe we'll mall vlog, for all time's sake. We'll just go out to the stores and see what's on the shelves. Maybe we'll take a listener sneaker shopping, whatever. This content, in terms of this podcast, will always be on every platform Saturday at 11, unless we specifically tell you, hey, we're off this week, right?
Yep.
When I'm opening up the idea or opening up the floor to you guys,
hyper strikes
is just randomly, whatever, suddenly, if you're tuned into YouTube, here's COYLE back on his bed with his pup, talking some shit about some fitteds that he's picked up or whatever, like the old days, and then maybe sometime before the next episode, boom, here's Rack's life in the Caribbean, I think that's what we need to do with it.
Yeah, me too.
I think there needs to be something specific about that channel.
And I think it'll grow it like a mother effer too.
And it is what it is. I don't want you guys to expect anything but the podcast every Saturday.
But you might get little gems.
And the clips, all right, they're happening
and I heard
as frequently as possible.
I heard actually through the grapevine that you still know how to edit videos.
It's a thing I've done from time to time.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So anyway, guys, there's an idea or some homework. If you listen to us wherever you listen to us, thank you. Rate us, like us, and subscribe to us there. But if for whatever reason, mostly because we're a podcast, you were like, don't need the YouTube. There's the first change in us as a platform. There will be, or there should be, or there could be more YouTube content outside of the podcast. You would head over to youtube.com/playgroundpolitics with no vowels, PLYGRNDPLTCS, and subscribe.
Now, if you're still listening to this right now, I'm going to drop this little gem on you. Ready?
Uh-oh.
Back in the day, Blockbuster Video used to run this contest to see who could play video games like, the best, right?
Wow.
I came in second place on the Frankfurt Avenue location.
Wow.
Yo, seriously? Yo, come see me right now.
Oh my goodness. Dude, that's like you were
Frankfurt and Longshore second place status? What?
Dude, what's the kid that just makes all kinds of money playing video games? Ninja. You were Ninja first, bro.
Ninja got all his swag from me.
Of course. And you are an unstoppable street fighter.
I am an unstoppable. Seriously, go look at the picture of this dude, Buddy McLean. I swear to God, it will knock your socks off how handsome this dude is.
I want to do this for like another 5 to 10 minutes. Straight freestyle now. I think we talked about what we wanted to talk about. Guys, behave correctly in not only this community, but the rest of your lives.
You had Rack
show some respect,
Rack
man.
was a little verklempt this week,
And,
yo. I hit him up.
I was torn up.
He was feeling types of ways.
You know what it is, man? You feel shitty that you can't help people. That's what I get in return.
I agree.
For everyone asking and thinking nothing of it.
He has feelings too.
I feel shitty I can't help. That's the reality.
You know what's
I
crazy?
Can't do anything.
Is like I know Rack, right?
Yeah.
People were hitting me up as if I had some magical way that I could do anything. And I'm like,
you could convince me.
I'm like, yo, do you know who I am? Like, I don't have any connections. I'm young boy Troy over here. I don't have that kind of, I don't do that kind of work.
Man, there's no way. There's no way on this particular shoot. But anyway, guys, thanks a million for hearing me out on that. And I mean that. I got my correspondent hat on. Ready? Yeah.
I got. Hold on. All right. The Met Gala just happened, right?
Yes.
I just want to touch on this real quick.
Weird outfits.
Kanye wore a Dickie suit.
Yeah, but I don't know if he said it.
I like it.
That's one thing we could talk about. I don't know if he said it though, or it's just been made up since.
Right.
But apparently, or it's being floated that he did that so that the shine was entirely on Kim Kardashian's look.
Have you ever seen what she looks like without Photoshop?
No, I don't think. Oh, I saw like one beach photo where I was kind of like, oh, it doesn't look all that.
That's crazy, man. Like, if I don't know, man. All I know is I saw Kylie, the younger one, the Travis Scott one.
Yeah.
She's beautiful. I don't know if it's from a doctor.
Kendall is the best looking.
Oh, and she's
untouched and she's a legit model and whatnot.
Yeah, I like Chloe, man. I've always been a Chloe fan. OJ Simpson's daughter.
Let's do this real quick. So, if for whatever reason I had to be with a Kardashian, meaning like not just smash one out, not
here we go.
Have to be with, right?
Marry, smash, or
boom. This is great content.
Marry, smash.
Boom.
I don't want to say the kill word. All right, we'll do marry,
least favorite.
We'll do marry, smash, diss.
Okay. I'm marrying Chloe, no question.
Chloe's the coolest one.
She's by far the coolest. I think she's attractive.
No, hot as what?
And I think physically, like okay, not to objectify them because that's not right.
Yeah.
I did start by saying she's by far the coolest, and I don't really feel like I feel like that's such common knowledge that I don't need to go too in depth with that.
And when Rob was going through his problems, she was always the one that like had his back and was like sympathetic, like good person.
Yeah, and she's dope. I'd marry her out of all of them. But I also like, because I know that. And I feel bad even echoing it. Like, I know that she's sometimes called the ugly sister, or she's like the least. That's super fucked up.
Yeah.
But also, in my opinion, like, I am attracted to her.
Right,
I think she, especially
smoke show,
especially her body. Something about her body, like as much as it's manipulated or freaky, like the rest of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. She carries it better.
Okay, so marry Chloe.
Yeah,
I agree. Smash
Kendall in a heartbeat.
Okay.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm not a single guy, but even if I was a single guy, that would be like a no-brainer or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't even know. Maybe I'd get a celebrity pass on that one. I have no idea.
So now the last,
but she's very, very good looking.
So the last one is this. So you have to walk up to them and hit it with an old school like your mama, like you got to diss one.
Yeah. So I would have even just a year ago been ready to get on Kim's case.
Ooh.
Because she's annoying in so many ways.
She is, dude.
But she's really kind of come a long way.
She has, because Kanye kind of put it,
I mean, she's done something.
Now you could even go the mom, you can go any of the sisters.
No, I'm dissing
you can go Caitlyn too.
I'm dissing Courtney, man. I think
Courtney.
Here's why. If
the older sister.
If you're, even moderately familiar, she's hella boring.
Okay.
In comparison to the others.
She doesn't use deodorant.
I don't know anything about that.
I heard that.
She's bitchier. I don't know.
Scott Disick was a saint.
No, he wasn't.
For being with her as long as he was.
No, he wasn't. He was a real pain in her ass too. But I do like Scott a lot. Maybe that's it. You know what? Now that you say that, Man, I'm sounding like a fanboy. I swear I don't watch
I
this
don't
shit.
care, dude. Yo,
I don't watch
I'm
this
watching
shit
it when I
like
go home.
I don't watch this shit like it sounds, but maybe because I like Scott so much.
I like Scott too.
She's always come off like a bitch. Like,
oh man.
And I don't know. But all I would say to her, like, I don't have some whopping like off the top rope
Yeah, you
diss.
smell like body odor.
I would just be like,
fall back.
You bore me, and your sisters don't. You know, that's it. All right, you. Let's get it.
All right. So Chloe, for obvious reasons, dog,
Is the Mary, right?
Cool
Yeah.
as shit, dude. I would marry her. She would buy a nice banging crib.
Yep.
You know what I mean? She would get me Travis Scott ones all off top. I
Yep.
would be in the family. Travis would be my brother-in-law. We would have mad kids that were like running backs, like OJ. It would be
Dude, Kanye
chain.
would so definitely quickly become the in-law that you were like, oh fuck, we gotta go over
Kanye's
there.
here, god darn it. Oh, I couldn't imagine. Imagine if Kanye
I mean, I'm a big, huge fan of
musically
his art.
Yes.
So don't get me wrong, but I think he's incredibly corny. Like, and I think that, like, you know, when you say something like, again, I don't know that it's been said about him or it's fact, but when you say things like, you know, I showed up to the Met Gala and Dickies so that my wife had her moment. It's like, who the fuck do you think you are? Not that you aren't. It's like one of those things where just don't let somebody else say it for you.
Like he would think that it would be on him no matter what.
Like if he put on the right outfit, forget it. He would have shut down the Met Gala, you know, and robbed Kim Kardashian of her shine.
All right.
You know, anyway.
So if I'm smashing.
If
I'm smashing one, it's going to be, I gotta go Kim.
Kim?
Yeah,
Okay.
just because it's got to be like the mantelpiece. Like I then again, I just to say you were there, but then again, so many have been there before. It's like,
oh, dude,
it's like I wonder, like
not that many. There, you know, a girl from Mayfair. You know, girls from Mayfair that have had a lot more.
I don't know anything about that.
All
I'm saying,
I'm just saying, anyone knows people in their neighborhood that have been run through more than Kim Kardashian.
All the Mayfair girls I know are saints.
Right.
Anyway, so besides that, I will say that if I had to, I don't know, man, that's a tough one, dude, because like, oh man, it's rough. But if I had to diss one, I would probably have to go with, I got to go with Kim too.
Yeah.
So I got to smash.
Easy.
I got to smash and diss.
Smash. You ruthless bastard.
Yeah, I got to smash diss.
Kylie would be an easy diss too because you could just real quick hit her with the like, you ain't self-made billionaire. Whole thing.
You know what you could do? You could pull out your phone of the before and after pics of her when she was a normal human being.
Oh my god!
She goes from looking like Rainbow Bright to looking like
dude. At home listening to this, they're like, at least Rack tried to be civil. You're like, show her how ugly she was.
No. See, now you're putting words in my mouth. I didn't say ugly. You know what I mean? I wasn't saying that. No, the words expressed in this podcast do not reflect Mike Coyle's true views.
Just show her what she used to look like, dude.
Yo, this is what you used to be. No, because look at me, like white, ugly as ever. However. Yeah. Polo down to the socks. No, but all I gotta say is I would just pull up that photo and I would be like, yo, who's your doctor?
Yo, as without explanation, and I'm only saying without explanation because I don't want you guys to elaborate in a way.
And we're just kidding.
Way that might be misread. Just say, marry, smash, diss, and give us your list in the comments or whatever.
Yo, and it doesn't even have to be Kardashian-esque. It could be like
just like it was so easy though for me to make a funny moment by like intentionally misinterpreting what Coyle was saying.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen in the comments. So don't leave your why. Don't leave your why whatsoever.
No,
just your
kidding,
answer.
Man, obviously.
No, 100%. And I was instigating.
100%.
But that is fun. That's a good topic. And we could do that. Like the Olsen twins is another, or the Olsen girls, because there's three.
The Full House cast.
The Full House cast.
Stephanie, DJ.
Do you want to do that real quick? Should we prolong? Come on, we're going for a week off. Okay. Okay.
Now you have the older sister who is Deej. You have DJ Tanner, right?
Yep.
Then you have
just lost half our audience that was born after 1990.
You have Stephanie Bethany. You have Stephanie Tanner, who is the middle sister, who got some work done in between the old and the new show. And might I say, she's working with a little something. And then you have, of course, the Olsen twins.
Now, in order to do this, we have to do a weird.
And Aunt Becky.
We have to do a weird time travel thing where we're gonna go.
Yeah, we're not doing them as kids.
Well, like, see, that's where it's interesting. Let's start.
When you were a kid, though.
I'm gonna go a little out of order, right?
Okay.
I would smash Steph.
Oh,
but that's
definitely.
because when I was a kid, I was most attracted to her on the show.
Okay.
Right? But now I have to come into the future to answer the others because if I'm going to consider the Olsen twins, I can't consider babies.
Yeah, and you can't,
right?
and you can actually marry both of them in Utah.
So me and Sweeten, the actress who plays Steph, are about the same age.
Right.
So when we were parallel ages,
Yes.
I liked her better than DJ.
I'm with that.
Right? So that's my smash.
Okay.
And I mean liked her like I was more physically attracted to her.
Right.
DJ is the one you got to marry.
Got to. She's wholesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Good
Yep.
person.
Yep. And then if you go through the whole timeline, she's really made something of herself.
Yeah, and she was my age, so when I was a kid,
Yeah.
that's who I liked.
There you go. I think that might be how it worked for people, right?
Yep.
And then I got to diss the Olsen twins.
Oh, me too, man. All the way.
And there's
But only Mary Kate.
and I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. And I know there's a whole generation of people who love them, but I'm just going to do it on the home movie tip. Like all those, like the Olsen twins go
there's
to
so
Paris,
many.
the Olsen twins on a boat, the Olsen twins
go to the zoo.
the Olsen twins at the mall.
Oh, the Olsen twins buy a giraffe.
I mean, if this was a real thing, we've got so much material.
Yo,
like,
seriously.
hey, remember when you twos were at the mall and that was a movie?
What did they used to say? How wooed. How wooed.
It's all right. That's me. I am.
I agree. Except I would
you're
go.
going right
I
there?
would go DJ, marry.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would smash the twins at the same time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then I would diss Aunt Becky for that college shit she did.
Yeah. Although pre that and pre-pubescent, I was
Aunt Becky?
all about Aunt Becky.
Woo! Jesse Kostopoulos was
Dude, I mean, I think in America's eyes, that was really the couple because like every man boy
yeah.
wanted Becky. And then
yeah.
John Stamos might be the best looking man that's ever lived.
Have mercy.
And he was like the coolest character. But
Yeah, what was his crew's name? The Rippers?
yeah, dude, of course it was.
Yo, my boys right now, what we like to call ourselves, the Rippers.
Dude, is there another set of women that we could like just, I'm trying to make this, it's audio only this week. We're off for a week.
All right, I can do this all day.
Let's say,
All right,
what else do we go?
Okay, Spice Girls.
Oh, good. Yes.
We can go sporty, we can go scary, we can go posh, we can go the little blonde chick.
What
I've heard, Scary Spice. Oh my God, the one Eddie Murphy was like kind of had a baby with.
Yeah. Wow. So I think I'm going to go.
And then you got Beckham's wife.
This is interesting, right? Because Victoria Beckham is, I feel like the obvious smash, but if I smash her, I can't marry her. And she also feels like the obvious marry. So
Ooh.
I'm going to marry her just because I know that it's worked out. She's been a good wife and
Yeah.
she's a classy lady.
Yeah.
Which means now I've got to pick one to smash that will really be my second favorite to smash
Yeah.
too, because Posh was by far the hottest, I thought.
Yeah.
Let me go with Ginger in her prime.
Oh man, yeah. Okay.
What's her name? Jerry Howell or
Yeah.
something? I'll go with her. And then I think it's really easy and kind of lazy of me, but I'll diss Sporty Spice.
Yeah, Sporty Spice really
she
brought
was-
not much to the table.
Yeah, very easy to diss.
And she used to wear those.
She was the Michelle, to make a Destiny's Child's reference, you know?
Or who was the neighbor?
Oh, dude, we got to do Destiny's Child next.
Oh my
Okay.
God!
Anyway.
All right, I'll do Scary Spice for some reason. She just got this thing about her, dude.
Yeah.
I would smash. I would
Yeah,
marry.
she
Vic.
definitely does. Scary was in high consideration.
I would marry Vic Beck,
yeah.
and I would diss the blonde chick that always wore the platform sneakers.
Oh, the baby one.
Yeah, babies. I would diss. I'd be like,
I'm
yo,
not into that friggin'
those sneakers that have
age
the,
play anyway.
Those sneakers that have the gigantic wedge outsole.
Yeah.
Fall back on that. Just fall back.
That's a thing. Nike keeps trying to do that too. They try every 2 years or so to
I've
be like,
seen-
how about this Jordan that's got
How
a
about
wedge?
this Cortez with the wedge? Now, there was this girl, Mal, that worked at the Bespoke studio, and she pulled him off with like a... Anyway, what am I talking about here?
Anyway.
All right,
All
so...
right. Pass, smash, or whatever Nike employee. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, well...
We gotta do the last one with Destiny's Child. Though.
Oh, my God. Well, how... Oh, come on. This is easy, dog.
I have to marry Beyonce.
And then
Which
Michelle?
means I have to smash Kelly.
Kelly?
I think Kelly over Michelle. I like dark girls, though. Believe it or not, that is you're learning about me here.
We're learning today on this
We are
episode
learning
of Playground
here about me.
Politics.
So I will be honest and say that in my taste, if you can't tell,
Okay.
I like pale blonde girls with blue eyes.
Okay.
But I have a taste for a variety. You know, my hormones.
I don't discriminate.
My hormones are a Baskin Robbins of sorts.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that.
And when it comes to black girls, African American girls, girls of color, however you want to call it, I do like dark skinned girls quite a bit.
All right,
I'm going to go Kelly. And then I would make fun of Michelle. It'd be so easy. It'd be like, you don't matter.
Michelle,
if you weren't on the album, no one would notice. Done.
Michelle, you sang background vocals on 3 songs. You replaced the replacement.
So I feel like you're going to go opposite me, where you might marry Kelly.
What
are you gonna do?
I am going to. Well, here's the thing. Jay-Z's in the picture, right?
Yeah, maybe.
And I don't want Jay being like, yo, it's your boy, yo, it's your boy, Young Hove. Is that COYLE over here at the crib? Yo, COYLE.
I just want to clarify real quick. In between your Jay-Z, that if I could marry and smash just Beyonce, that would be like marry, smash,
Yeah,
and
I'll do all 3.
all 3 Beyonce if that was an option. Okay, anyway.
I mean, he'd be like, yo, it's your boy. He'd be like, yo, is that boy over here again, that crispy boy? He'd be like, yo, Ho's in the building, holla. And I would be like, Jay, yo, is it cool if I get Beyonce tonight? He'd be like, well, you picked her to marry, right? Yeah. And I'd be like, yeah. And he'd be like, yo, the Rock has left the building. All right, no, but I would definitely marry Beyonce. I would smash Michelle. Okay. Just because I feel like Michelle is like that guy that never had a girlfriend that like will worship the first girlfriend.
Right. Definitely.
And I'm the first guy to choose her as like my smash and not diss.
In the friggin' lifetime of this game.
Yeah, I'm showing love. Like I would meet her and I would be like, before we smash, I'd be like, yo,
you're my favorite Destiny's
You know,
Child.
every time I heard a Destiny's Child song, I heard your voice only.
Yo. You know how guys running game always sounds hilarious to other guys?
Yeah.
Like no matter how good their game is, it's
crazy.
just hilarious,
Yeah.
right? The line for Michelle is, "You're my favorite in Destiny's Child."
Yo, man, when it comes down to you and Beyonce, Beyonce ain't even a thought.
I don't want them to hear me.
Yeah.
I don't want them to hear me and feel uncomfortable. But
Beyonce's not single, is she? Oh, she's not. Yo, you're my favorite.
But you've always been my favorite Destiny's Child.
On that one song you had, right? On that one song
you know that part when you're like,
yeah, when you had that moan. Yo, that shit was bad.
You know that part on that one song that Beyonce wrote, but you're like,
yeah. Oh, man,
that's always been my favorite part.
Yo, when they chose you to replace that replacement that one time, I was so happy that day. I was like, yo, this girl is it.
Guys, that is Playground Politics, episode 5.
Yo, the politicians is in the building. Holla.
We are off next week, so share.
If you share this, COYLE will make a video.
Comment, like, go if you haven't already, and subscribe to the YouTube channel because we're about to do bigger and better things with that in the coming weeks.
One time I saw an old guy shit in a tree.
Shout out to our Hall of Heroes. Shout out to Michelle from Destiny's Child.
What, dude? Yo, if you still heard that, all the respect in the world if you were listening to that.
If for whatever reason whatsoever you are Michelle from Destiny's Child and you were listening to this episode, all the love and respect.
If you heard that, my name is Mike COYLE.
You were always my favorite.
You were always my favorite.